All right, welcome to Erie Shores Prepping. I hope you can hear me okay. Even though it's the last day of February, the March winds have picked up. Here in growing zone 6A, it has warmed up to about 43 degrees. And I'm starting to plan my garden for this coming year now that I will have a full year in at this new location coming up in May. I want to get started now because I have a pretty good idea what will grow, what won't grow, so I hope the wind doesn't bother the thing. But here is a potential location for a new raised bed, 2 by 8 by 12. I wanted the extra foot for the depth and everything else, and I'm going to decide whether this is going to be potatoes or yams or sweet potatoes, rooted vegetables. So I still have to figure it out, and believe me, there is not a level place in my backyard, but this is one possible location to start thinking about how you can grow your own clean food and what it takes. Whatever I plant here, I am going to be getting cattle panels, and before I fill it in with dirt, I am going to arch the cattle panels like an umbrella over that and put it on the inside, secure that, then fill it up with dirt. So if potatoes go there, yams, whatever it is, I will still be able to grow vertical with cucumbers or whatever I decide to plant beside that. And again, take advantage of what you have. The neighbors have a wooden fence. I put some field fencing in there, which was absolutely fabulous because I found out cucumbers, tomatoes, green beans, peas, all grew real well all the way down, and we were able to secure and store 20 bags of green beans, I believe. So we're eating good, clean food. Don't use pesticides unless I absolutely have to on the broccoli and cauliflower, but everything else is clean and fresh. Now, for those of you wondering, I use this right here, Garden Tone. I really like the fertilizer on this. It works real well. You can get that at your DIY store. And for the berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, which I have plenty of, I use this right here, the Garden Tone. That helps a lot. Now, before you come to the conclusion, this bed is really deep. However, that doesn't mean it's filled with dirt top to bottom. You only need maybe 18 to 20 inches for any of your rooted vegetables. Underneath this right here is baled straw that will eventually decompose, and you can see at the end it's already breaking down. So all I have to do is continue to put in some top layer dirt and let that straw decompose and bring up any nutrients towards the top. Right now I have onions over the winter. Even though they got frostbite right here, these will continue to grow. So I should have onions by May, June, and then I'll replant and decide what I want to go from there. All right. I use this right here from Tractor Supply, a watering trough. They were on sale at one point for, I think, $113. Yes, I ruined it by punching holes in the bottom of it, but this was fabulous for carrots. Here is my berry bed. Blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, all doing wonderful, and they are plentiful, and they will continue to grow. The strawberries, really nice. This year I planted a different type of blackberry that are supposed to be about that big, the mammoths. I'll let you know how that goes. Over here, the blueberries coming to life. You can start to see some growth, the budding out. Now, I am not going to fertilize that just yet until it's warm enough and the ground is thawed out to really push the growth on these blueberries. All right, so wait till the ground thaws out and it's warmer temperatures, then you fertilize it so that goes right down to the root. We have the apple tree starting to show signs of life, which is good news for me. This right here is garlic. wintered over, it will come back to life, and I will be harvesting hopefully fresh garlic by June. And you can see this is another water trough that I punched holes in so the water does drain out. Got it from Tractor Supply. That's exactly what it is. I got it on sale for $118, so I had the money picked up too. Peppers did real well here, hot, mild, everything else. So I will probably replant here and fertilize it again. Fertilize everything heavily, especially in the springtime. Another raised bed that was highly successful until Woody Woodchuck decided he wanted to eat all my cabbage and everything else, and I did a video on that. I live trapped him, and hopefully he's buried in his den, hibernating, not bothering me, but he was unharmed, and I relocated him clear out in the middle of a field. Now on this right here, as you can see, it is metal. These are window well units, 2 halves, zip tied together. And if you watched the channel before, you've seen this, but these are 2 halves to form a circle, and I use zip ties. The reason I did that is because in case something doesn't grow well there, or I need the space, all you have to do, cut the zip ties, pull it apart, relocate it, and put the dirt back in. The window well units last indefinitely, and the cost I believe was around $125, but it gives you a permanent growing, above ground growing, raised bed, but you can also move them. To me, it's worth the money. 7-gallon grow bags, had small items in there, tomatoes, lettuces, and everything else. The Brussels sprouts did not produce in that, so I was disappointed in that. But again, it's a learning curve. You have to have at least 1 year of season before you know exactly what grows, what doesn't grow, what location it does well in, and everything else. These are grow bags off of Amazon. Highly recommend them. Reusable. Wash them out, clean them out, store them, whatever. These wintered over, and you can't beat that price. And again, I am going to put down fresh dirt, rototill all of this. Had tomatoes, green beans, cucumbers, which were highly successful. I had more than I could do, and I was feeding the neighbors, which is fine by me. Here's a much bigger window well unit. And again, I put cinder blocks on the bottom that's halfway up because it cost you a fortune to fill it all the way top to the bottom. So there are cinder blocks on the bottom to give me about 20 inches of depth, and you can see the size of it. Zip tied again, and I did bring these from my old house, so it was easy to, cut the ties, put it in the truck, and spread the dirt out there and everything else. Another raised bed that did really well for cherry tomatoes and beets was this one here. So the cherry tomatoes overran the beets, and I didn't get a big harvest on that. And again, like I said, this is the first year I was here. I planted what I liked just to see what was going on. Now you have the information embedded in your brain, what you want to plant, what grows, what did really well, and you can update your plans on that. Peach tree coming to life. Love it. The one over there across the way is peach tree. And the back gate, which is secured, coming and going if you decide, hey, I'm hungry, and hopefully we'll have plums, apples, peaches, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, whatever it is, and you're hungry, coming and going from the house, you will be able to have fresh, clean food to snack on the way to work, coming home, or just outside playing. Now, excuse this mess back here, this dung heap. With all the bird flu and everything else, we did have backyard chickens before we moved here. Unfortunately, couldn't transport them, so they stayed at the house. I'm going to clean up this dung heap, and I'm going to have a chicken coop delivered in here. Fence this off so they don't get in to my garden, but they will have a free run in the back half of that. Hopefully they'll leave my grapes alone. These should start becoming to life here. in the next few months, and we'll see. We have to make sure you fertilize grapes heavily. They're big feeders. The first 2 years is roots, then the production will start. So we have Concord green and red back there. So we're going to clean up this dung heap. This will be a chicken run for fresh eggs and meat, all clean. You don't have to worry about anything. And then over here, one of the important things to a good growing garden is having pollinators come in and pollinating your vegetables, your flowers, and everything. So I dedicated this section, I hope the wind doesn't bother you too much. I dedicated this section right here to all kinds of flowers that will attract honeybees, butterflies, all kinds of stuff. But you want to bring them into your garden. Again, no insecticides to kill the honeybees or the hummingbirds or anything else. I try to stay away from that. And down here at the end, I found what grew and what didn't grow. And the green beans and peas were successful at the far end down there. Everything else was a big disappointment because I planted sunflower seeds, and even though they were supposed to be 16 feet high, they barely cleared 8 feet, so I was kind of disappointed in that. Won't make that mistake again. Again, butterfly bushes, everything there. And in the future, I am thinking about having this in this corner for honeybees, but that's just far-ranging plans. I want to see what's going on. Now, getting back to this side right here, I've dedicated this side to be raising vegetables and everything else. And if you notice, I have trees that will eventually grow pretty good size and provide some shade. It got really hot last year in growing zone 6A, and I was spending a ton of water to keep the plants alive. So if we can have some shade to give them a break on my bill and on the plants, I don't mind that. And it's actually good for them because it'll bring in, again, different birds, pollinators, and everything else like that. All right? But start thinking about your garden and your backyard. You can't eat the grass, but you can grow your own clean food. And even though President Trump says we're going to bring down the inflation, it'll take at least 2 years before you start seeing prices dropping. Right now, vegetables are absolutely ridiculous. Eggs are $4.99 a dozen here in Ohio, growing zone 6A, and I'm sure the price is going to be going up. So we're going to have backyard chickens in the spring, and vegetables started. First thing will be potatoes. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, if we continue to get sunshine, we're going to fertilize, plant the potatoes, get those rolling. Even if it snows, it's fine. All right? So we'll be harvesting garlic and some onions right there. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to Erie Shores Prepping. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them. Thank you.